Okay. We need to finish our notes from yesterday. We had 3 problems we left off doing. So those of you that were absent, we're in this one that says simplifying radicals practice. And all you do is fold it in half and make a booklet. Okay. So we've got 3 on the inside that we're going to do. And hopefully that'll catch you up. If not, I'm here after school today for a little bit. I don't know what time the bus is leaving for the game. But
oh, y'all got a away game today?
Yeah, we were supposed to play last night and it got moved to today.
Page.
Who do y'all play?
West.
Are they good? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
One of the girls that play on the team.
Are y'all playing sheets? Not this year?
We've got too many. Our conference is huge this year.
Well, bummer. That's what my girls play for.
We were hoping maybe to get a game against Sheets so we could play some of our kids that should be on because they don't get to play all that often. All right. So remember, yesterday we were simplifying radicals. So the first thing we had to do was take your number and break it down into its prime factorization. So we need to break down 162. Grace said that's divisible by 2, which leaves me with 81. 81 is divisible by what then?
9.
Is 9 prime though?
No.
No, so we don't want to use 9 in this method.
3.
3. Why is it divisible by 3?
Because 3 times 3 is 9.
8. Hold on. I showed them yesterday. If you add up all the digits in your number, so 8 plus 1 gives you 9, and 9 is divisible by 3, that means your number is automatically divisible by 3. So 270, 2 plus 7 plus 0 gives you 9. It's automatically divisible by 3.
It's a magic trick.
It is a magic trick.
I can't believe I never told you that.
So I can divide this by 3.
So is 162.
162 is divisible by 3. Okay. So when I divide 81 by 3, what do we get? 27. 27 is then divisible by 3, which leaves me with
9.
9 is divisible by
3.
which leaves me with 3 is divisible by
3.
and it leaves me with
1.
1.
That's too many 3s, man.
You are finished. So now we need to write down your prime factorization. So we have 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay. All of these numbers that are along the side is your prime factorization now. Now we need to write down all of our variables. How many A's do I have? 1. How many B's? 3. And how many C's? 5. All right, Stefan. You're going to be famous on my YouTube channel. They're going to watch my videos just so they can hear you go, 3 times 3.
Indexes are 3.
So on and so on.
Okay. Christian, what did you just say my index was in this problem?
3.
3. My index is a 3. It's this number. So that means I need to circle in groups of 3.
Yeah, so good.
So I only have 1, 2. I can't circle any 2s. I have 4 3s though. So I can circle a group of 3s. And again, my index is 3, so I'm circling in groups of 3. Okay. Can I circle any A's? No. What about my B's?
Yes.
Yes, I've got 1 set of B's I can circle.
And 1 set of C's.
And 1 set of C's.
And 1 set of C's.
Okay, so I circled a 3. How many groups did I circle?
1.
1. So it's 3 to the first, which is just 3. Leave it alone.
Right.
What else have I circled?
B.
How many?
1.
3.
So leave it alone. What else? How many?
1.
Leave it alone. Okay, now everything else goes back underneath the radical. So you need to write your cubed root.
3.
Okay, I have a 2 and a 3 left over. 2 times 3 is 6.
16.
I have 1A, so that's A to the first.
2C. CC.
So C to the second. CC.
Oh, that's
Okay. Question. Okay.
Same bad. That was that song.
Okay.
Got me.
So we need to break down 24 this time. 2, and we're left with
12. And you put 12 into it.
2 and 6.
Oh, never mind.
3. What's left over if I pull out a 3? 2
1.
and 2 and 1. Okay. Notice though, when I turn around and write my prime factorization, I put all my 2's side by side and then my 3. That way it's easier to circle when I need to go back and circle. Okay, now we've got 5 X's, 3 Y's.
Oh, you purpose. Never mind.
Yes.
Well, 3 goes to the 6, how many times?
Right, we pulled out the 3, so 6 divided by 3 leaves you with 2. If you would have pulled out the 2, Deja, then you would have had the 3 underneath. So it's just a matter that we pulled the 3 out instead of the 2.
How many
Good
Z's is
question,
that?
though. 7.
Same.
It's C to the
Same.
7th power, so you should have 7 of them.
And we got a circle.
1 is
Edwin,
1.
what's my index in this problem?
Cap.
Don't sit here and say, I don't know. What's the little number?
Walk them down.
Step on. Stop.
I said so.
Okay.
mean to say too.
My index is 4. Again, this little number tells you what your index is. What happens if my index wasn't written? It would be a 2. Good. So my index in this problem is 4, which means I need to circle in groups of 4. Can I circle a 2?
No.
What about a 3?
Not at all.
What about my X's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
One group of X's? What about my Y's?
No.
No. What about my Z's?
Yeah.
How many? Just 1.
For one time.
For one time, right. Okay, so I can pull out an X. How many times did I circle it? 1, so it's
Pull out a
X.
Z.
And you pulled out a Z.
Yeah, 1.
Okay, everything else goes back underneath this square root. Or I'm sorry, the 4th root, not the square root, the 4th root. Okay, don't forget your little index. That's very important. Okay, we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3.
8.
So 24.
24.
24. Good stuff.
Okay. I need to put an X back under. I only have 1, so it's X to the first. I need Y.
Y to the third
Y to the third. I've got 3 left over.
and Z to the third.
And Z to the third. I have 3 left over.
We're done, amigo.
We're done, amigos.
Amiga.
This
That's
is
it.
Like I'm talking. Like I'm talking. They never go
Yeah,
hard.
we're friends for life.
Okay. They creative for that, bro.
This tomorrow.
They creative.
Oh.
But
No.
we're friends. She said, I knew that y'all only pissed her.
Okay, bring it down. I know we're having lots of fun and you guys are actually getting really good at this. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, we've got 64.
8.
Hold up. We need to pull out prime numbers.
Oh.
You don't want to pull out anything that is not prime. So, 2. As soon as you see an even number, I would start with 2. Okay? And you said that's 32 left over.
Oh,
It's still even, so I can pull out a 2.
Jesus.
So that leaves me with 16. Good.
How old I am?
16 is divisible by
2,
2, which leaves me with
2,
2 and
4, 2,
2 and
2, 2 and 2.
and 2 and 1. Whoo, that's a lot of 2s.
2 and
2.
So you've got 6 2s to write down for your prime factorization. 5, 6. How many A's do I have?
1,
How many B's?
2,
How many C's?
3.
Gotta circle everything 3.
Good. Christian says we need to circle in 3s because my index
That don't even look like
is a
6.
3.
That look like 7, 8.
Okay, I need to circle in 3s now. How many 2s can I circle?
2.
2 sets of 3. Okay, you've got 1, 2. Can I circle any A's?
No.
What about B's?
No.
What about C's?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've circled 2s. How many groups? 2. So that's 2 to the second power. I circled a C. How many?
1,
1. So leave it alone. Draw down your cubed root.
3,
What goes back underneath of it?
A squared,
A
B squared.
and B squared because there's 2 B's left over. Okay. We've got one extra step. Just because you have squared this number here, so you don't want to leave it as 2 squared. What's 2 squared? 4. So your final answer should be 4C cubed root of A B squared. That's the only time you have that extra step is when your numbers out front, you have more than just one. Okay, so something like something squared, something cubed, or even if you had 2 times 3 out front, you need to multiply them together. Questions?
No.
If you did not glue this page in yet, we're gluing in on page 78, my friend.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
They didn't let me know.
Baby, let me love you, dude.
This-
There's so many ways to love you.
Well, I ain't heard that song since Capcom.
Alright, that's from 2010. Alright, that's from 8 years ago. Kiki, welcome. But I'm still, this is still coming on.
Yeah.
Kiki, welcome.
Bro,
That was that show,
Question.
bro.
what is the point of changing the name? What was the name before that?
What?
Before that
Kiki, welcome.
I don't even know what you're talking
That
about.
was my show, bro. We about to blow up.
All right.
Gotta go get some water.
No. Bro.
Go get some water, please.
Go get water. You gonna drop me in the small trash can?
Right. Go do whatever you're doing in the bathroom.
He dying inside.
Seriously.
The paper's white.
Okay.
At least the paper knife. Round.
So I'm going to tell you this. You are either going to love or hate adding and subtracting radicals.
Had it already.
I know you're going to hate it
I know.
because there's extra steps
Oh, yes.
and you don't like steps.
No.
So I know you're going to hate it. But it's not hard. It can be long is the problem. Okay. So when you add or subtract radicals, when you add or subtract radicals, you've got 2 things you've got to look for. 1, they need to have the same index. So this is square root, this is square root, this is square root. We're good. Okay, you can actually add those. The second thing you have to have is the same radicand, which means the number underneath your radical has to be the same. That is our problem right now, is the numbers underneath of that square root are not the same. But you've learned how to simplify to make them the same. So this is going to be a process, but it's easy, it's long.
Very long. I don't like long.
It's easy and long.
Okay, so we're going to break down each one of these. So we need to break down 18 into their prime factors. What is 18 divisible by? 2. Which leaves me with 9. 9 is divisible by
3.
which leaves me with
3.
and 3 is divisible by
3.
which leaves me with
1.
woo!
Yeah. I missed it.
It smells like peanut butter in here.
It's pineapple.
Peanut butter.
It's not peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter pie. I know how to do dance.
Yo, Brian, dude.
Later. Let's get through these notes first. Okay, it's square root. So what am I grouping in? 2s. My index is a 2. I'm grouping in 2s. So I can group these 3s.
Wait, where did you get your?
Okay. If there is no index written here, it's an automatic 2. Okay? Remember though, the big numbers outside of the radical are not your index. That is a coefficient that gets multiplied. Okay, so I pull out a group of 3s. Hold on. We have a -3 here first. Okay? Times. I'm pulling out another group of 3s. So that goes here. What's left underneath my radical? A 2. That's your leftovers. So this -3 came from here. This 3 came from what I pulled out and grouped together. And then my 2 was left over. It went back underneath. Okay. Leave it at that for now. We're going to continue. Okay. Yes. Why would I make it square? There's only one group of 3s. Okay. Don't confuse yourself. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this 8. So I need to break down an 8. 2 and 4. 2 and 2 and. Okay. What is my index this time? 2. So I'm grouping in 2s again. So right now I have a +3 that needs to drop down times I have one set of 2s that need to come down. So a 2. And then back underneath my square root goes another 2. I knew you weren't going to like this.
I don't like. I ain't like what you said.
It just threw me off.
Okay. I now need to break down my 24 and we're almost finished.
No. I ain't like when I see and.
Okay. 2 and 12. 2 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 1. What am I grouping in this time? 2s. Okay. So I'm going to group in 2s. I need to bring down my negative. I grouped one set of 2s so I can pull out a 2. And then back underneath the square root goes a what this time? 6. I have a 2 and a 3 left over. 2 times 3 gives me 6.
This is a long.
That's what I said. It's not that it's difficult. There's a lot of steps which will make it confusing, which will also give you more turns to mess up. The more steps there are, the better chance you have of messing up. So you must remain focused when you do this. Okay. So now, out in front of this square root of 2, I have -3 times 3, which is what? -9. So this first one is -9 square roots of 2. All I did was multiply the numbers out front. Here, I have 3 times 2, which is
6.
6 square roots of 2. And then this one only has one number out front, so it's -2 square roots of 6. You just did step 1.
Step one.
What? That's step one. That's one.
The best part is though, once this has happened, it's smooth sailing from there.
Are you sure?
I promise you. So watch what happens. Now, so step 2 says, determine which radicals can be added or subtracted. In order to do it, they have to have the same index and the same radicand, which is the number, the root that you're taking, and the number underneath of it. So kind of like having like terms where you could add 2x and 3x. Okay, you've got like terms with radicals. The only two that go together are this term and this term, because this has square root of 2, this has square root of 2. That third one can't go together. It's a square root of 6. So it stays away. So what is -9 plus 6? -3. -3 square roots of 2. Okay, that doesn't change. Just like your 3x plus 2x became 5x. You added 3 and 2 and kept your x. You add -9 and 6 and keep your square root of 2. Now, because this does not combine with that, you literally stick it to the side. Okay.
What's next?
The last thing you want to do is just make sure that you've combined. Guys, I'm not going to scream over you. Please stop. Okay. The last step is just to make sure that you have combined everything that can go together. Do I have anything else with a like radical? No. You're done. This is it. So the hardest part is doing the simplifying to get it to the point where we can shove them together. Like I said, is it hard? No. It's long,
It's okay.
which makes your head hurt.
Whoa.
Go on.
And I'll lose brain cells.
Okay. This glue's in on page, where are we at? 79. 79, my friends.
Bro, my beard is legendary. It holds my pencil.
I don't like this one.
My beard holds my pencil.
Where's my glue?
Oh.
Where's your glue?
This black
Glue your beard.
Miss Blackwell stole your glue.
Oh, you said it's on 79.
79.
No.
Save it.
Okay. The next piece I want you to cut out. Please look here for a second. Okay. The next piece I want you to cut out is just this circle. Don't cut anything out of this page but this circle that says adding and subtracting radicals. Just the circle.
Circle only.
Just the circle for now. We will cut out the rest.
It's a circle.
Just the circle.
Bet.
Alright, cool.
I cut the circle. No, I'm messing with you.
Here.
Where?
What?
Look at this pencil.
Bro, I told you, my beard. Yeah, my beard like that, bro.
Boy, this pizza.
Not at all.
That's a whole lot.
That is not peach fuzz.
You can put it in the ponytail.
Show hand, trying to braid it for me.
He gonna put cornrows in his beard.
Pick your beard out.
Did you really stick your pencil in your beard?
Yeah, you see?
That's what I was talking about.
I can't. I just
Must be
can't.
nice to have facial hair though.
It really is.
You know he didn't get that right.
Nothing at all. On my mama. Nothing at all.
He had achieved some goals.
Did you know that they're making male birth control pills now? Oh, fine.
Put that up.
Oh, God.
Can't edit it.
You can cut it out.
Take.
I have to believe
You lied, bitch.
You can edit.
No, you,
Right.
you really can't.
Okay, you're like, cut it. Speed through.
Okay. This is just another example of what we just did on that last page. So, in other words, if my radicals match in index and radicand, you take the numbers that are out front, add or subtract them together, and then stick your radical on the end. Okay? So, this is just another way, another example of what we just got done doing. So, on the side, you can only add or subtract radicals with the same index and radicand. Okay. So they all have to be square root or cubed root or fourth root, and the number that goes underneath the root has to be the same. That's what that means.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start here. Group the terms with the like radicals. So what can group together with 4 square roots of 2? -2 square roots of 2. Those two go together. What goes with +5 square roots of 3? +6 square roots of 3 and -7 square roots of 3. Okay, so I'm going to turn this so I can write.
Bro, I can't even read that right now.
Good thing you have the copy right in front of your face. Okay, so you told me that I could add 4 square roots of 2 and -2 square roots of 2. So what you do is add the coefficients in the front. What is 4 minus 2? 2. So the first part of your answer down here is 2. You keep the radical, square roots of 2. Okay, again, that's like your x or your x squared. It doesn't change. You keep it. They're like terms. Okay, we're done with the square roots of 2. Now we go up and do the square roots of 3. You've got 5 plus 6 minus 7. So 5 plus 6 is 11 minus 7 is 4. So plus 4, and you keep the square root of 3.
About Tom.
Okay, that's it. That's your answer.
Yeah,
So it's really easy when your radicals are already alike and you don't have to simplify.
It's like that all the time.
Okay,
Right.
it's not going to be.
I'm throwing hints like.
Okay, so what I want you to do with this is just set it aside for now. We'll glue everything in a minute. Okay. This is the last piece I'm doing with you. The last 5 problems on that other sheet are going to be your homework tonight.
Oh.
Okay?
Bam.
So
Are we gonna have to fold this?
we are going to have to fold this. Okay. Do you guys prefer, do you want to fold this first before we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how to fold this?
No, hot dog
Okay.
style first.
Okay. Hot dog style first.
Wiener
Yes.
style.
It's another mini book. Okay, so you're gonna fold it hot dog style with your numbers and stuff out front.
That is
No,
That is?
no, you're right. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. Okay, once you do that, you're going to open it back up and fold it hamburger style.
I want some sign.
Go get some. Then.
I will.
Okay, so it's gonna look like this.
And then we're gonna have to fold it.
Okay, and then you're gonna fold it in half one more time.
Bro.
So it's gonna look like this.
What is
Who my thugs?
So it should look long ways like this.
They be like, what's up, nephew?
Okay.
This right? Right? Okay.
Did I do it wrong?
You heard Travis Scott do something called Be
Oh, what?
It's called Be Humble. But
It'll
Travis
go
Scott-
right side up once we cut it.
You heard it?
We cutting it.
Bro, that song go hard.
You know that song about Fresh Prince?
Bro, they go like
Side that's not-
they go like oh he said I hear records on my demo. Did y'all boys not get from Milton?
Okay. Once you have it folded like this, I need you to open it back up just once and pay attention. The side that is creased and not open, you're going to take your scissors. Where'd I put mine?
Cut it.
You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut to this crease. So if you need to watch for a minute, watch before you mess it up. Okay, so if you notice, my open end is over here. The side that I cut is here. And I only cut to that crease that I made. Okay,
I'm about
perfect.
to mess it up.
Like this.
Okay, perfect, Stefan.
You said open end right here, right?
So, yeah, your open end's here, so you want to cut the other side and cut up to that crease.
Bet bread. I did it.
Okay, the last thing you want to do is you're going to open it back up and fold it hot dog style again. Okay, and notice when you hold it up, that middle piece creates this diamond looking thing here. Okay, you're going to take your diamond and you're going to squish it together and fold it over.
Guess what? You're gonna flip it in, hold it, twist it, flip it in.
And you've created a mini book.
Oh, my lamp.
If you need help, I will come around.
Oh my
I do.
Santa.
I got it.
Oh my Santa.
Oh, you're gonna have to do the maker, like, edges a little crisper, so it'll
That's
close.
what you're gonna flip it in.
Oh my
hold it,
Jesus.
twist
Okay, does anybody need help?
I'm leaving.
Guys, I thought I did it wrong, but I'm right. For the first time in my life.
Anybody else need help? You good?
it. Don't fall for it, it's gonna knock you out.
Ah.
You got the wrong one anyway.
Right, the empty one?
Yeah.
You got the wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So, open up your little mini booklet to your first page.
Yay. And read. That cat has jumped off the lawn.
The cow has jumped over the moon.
The cow has jumped over the
The clock struck one.
Okay. So, here we go with all those crazy steps again. So take a look at this first one. Is 2 prime? Yes. So that part of it's not going to change. So I'm going to throw it down at the bottom. There's nothing that's going to change about that one. The square root of 2, 2 is prime. You're done. There's nothing else you can do. Okay. So we took care of this one. We now need to simplify this middle one. So I need to break down 20. 20 breaks down into 2 and 10 breaks down into 2 and 5 breaks down into and okay. What is my index? My index is a 2. So I'm grouping in 2s. So I can circle my pair of 2s. Okay. What you need to not forget is the fact that there's already a 3 out front. So this is 3 times I just pulled out 2s. So this 2 goes here. And underneath the radical then is the square root of 5. Okay. So you already had a 3 out front. It has to drop down. You then circled 2s that come out front. So that goes with the 3. Bless you. The one that we didn't circle goes back underneath. So this is actually 3 times 2, which is 6 square roots of 5. Okay, so please stop talking. Because again, you have a quiz on this next week. This is the only day I'm covering adding and subtracting. You need to stop and you need to focus. Because again, while this is not hard, there's multiple steps. And if you skip a step, you're done. Okay, this last one is 8 prime. No, it's divisible by 2, so let's break up 8. 8 is divisible by 2, which leaves me with?
4.
4 is divisible by?
2.
Which leaves me with?
2.
2 is divisible by?
2.
Which leaves me with?
1.
What am I grouping in?
2.
2s. Okay, again, this one has a negative 3 out front, so don't forget that negative 3. Then I have a group of 2s that comes out front, so there's a 2. And then the square root, what goes back underneath? A 2. That's what's left here. So this is actually negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6 square roots of 2. My last step then is to combine what is alike. What can I put together? The negative 6 square roots of 2 and the negative 3 square roots of 2. So what's negative 6 and negative 3? Negative 9 square roots of 2 plus, I didn't have anything to put with this other one, 6 square roots of 5. And that's your final answer. So not all of them is going to need simplified every time. You have to know your prime numbers. And normally you just need to know the first like 10. Okay. But again, I gave you that list of all of your prime numbers below 100 to help you.
Right, guys.
Okay. This one.
Oh, man.
Okay. 20, is that prime? No. We just broke it up over here. We're going to do the same thing again. So 20 is divisible by 2, which leaves me with 10 is divisible by, which leaves me with 5 is divisible by, which leaves me with fantastic. What am I grouping in? 2s. So again, you have a negative 2 already. Then we pull out the 2 that I just circled, and I'm left with the square root of 5. So this actually becomes negative 4 square roots of 5.
18.
Okay. 18, is that prime? No. So let's break it down. 18 is divisible by 2, which leaves me with 9 is divisible by, which leaves me with,
Hey.
and then 3
Hey.
and 1. What am I grouping in? 2. So what can I circle?
3.
My 3s.
Almost got the G.
Okay.
So 2.
So we bring down this 2 that's already there. 2 times 3, because I circled 3s, and square root of what's left over, Christian?
2.
The 2. It's always whatever I did not circle. So this one's actually 6 square roots of 2. Okay. Take a look at my last one. I have negative 2 square roots of 5. Is 5 prime? Yes. So we don't have to do anything. Just drop it down. Negative 2 square roots of 5. So then finally, what combines and goes together? Negative 4 and negative 2, which give me negative 6 square roots of 5 plus 6 square roots of 2. Hi, Poppy.
That was my cousin.
Could be. Okay. Grace just asked a great question. Is there any point where you're going to simplify them all and then nothing can be combined? Absolutely, that can happen. Okay. That sucks, though, because when you do all that work and you're like, now I can't even put any of these together.
That's not gonna be the extra point work.
Right. DeJuan's going to end up like punching a wall over that. So, like, I did all that work and boom.
Maybe the smart board.
This- Please don't do that. That's expensive.
My hands are expensive.
Okay. Take a look at this one. Whoop, wrong way. Okay. Is 5 prime? Yes. So nothing can be done with this one. So negative 3 square roots of 5. Is 6 prime? No. But watch. 6. What does 6 break down into? 2 and 3, which breaks down into 3 and 1. What am I grouping in? 2s. Can I group anything? No, so this one's not going to change anyway. If you can't group anything, there's nothing to change. So this one also stays negative square roots of 6. What about the last one? Is 5 prime? Yes, you can't do anything with it. It stays negative square root of 5. So there was nothing to simplify in that problem. That can happen
So
too.
you just leave it like that?
But can I combine anything?
No.
Yes.
Yes. I've got negative 3 square roots of 5 and negative square root of 5. Negative 3, if there's nothing written in front of the square root, it's a 1. Your index is a 2 because it's a square root, but the actual coefficient in front of it is a 1. So you technically have negative 3 minus 1, which becomes what? Negative 4 square roots of 5. And there's nothing to combine with your square root of 6. So there's your answer.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You'll start to recognize that like 6 can't be broken down when you take the square root of it. So then you won't have to go through the steps of you took 2 out and you had a 3, you took a 3 out and had a 1, and then you go, oh crap, I can't circle anything anyway. Okay. So take a look at this one. Which ones can we not do anything with?
5.
6 and 5. So you're going to keep 2 square roots of 5, and you're going to keep negative 2 square roots of 6. There's nothing I can do with either one of those. Okay. We just found out your square root of 6 can't be broken down because there's nothing to circle. And 5 is prime, so we can't do anything with it. But the other two, let's see what we can do. So we need to break down 45. 5, which gives you 9, 3, 3, and 3, 1. What am I grouping in? 2s, so I'm grouping my 3s. Okay, you have a negative out front, so you must bring that negative down. Your 3 comes out front, and you're left with the square root of 5. So I'm bringing down -3 square roots of 5. And the last thing I need to break down is my 20. 20 breaks down into 2 and 10, 2 and 5 and 1. What am I grouping in? 2s. So again, you bring down that negative. I'm bringing down a 2 because that's what I've grouped. And I have the square root of 5. So -2 square roots of 5. Okay. Now we've taken care of simplifying everything. The last thing I need to do is combine what I can. What all goes together in this problem? Okay, you've got your +2, your -3, and your -2. So what's 2 minus 3 minus 2? -3. Watch, your +2 and -2 cancel out, so all you're left with is -3. So -3 square roots of 5, and then your square root of 6 didn't combine, so you just bring down -2 square roots of 6. We've got 2 more, and then I'm going to show you how this all glues in, and then you can work on your 5 problems for homework. Okay. Yes. Inside the square root? Absolutely not, because you cannot take the square root of a negative number. That will turn into your imaginary number I.
The fake number.
You can take the cubed root of a negative number, but you cannot take the square root of it. Okay. Is 18 prime? No. Is 12 prime? No. So we're going to have to break down all of these. Okay. Watch, though. When you break down 18, I can use it for the first one and the last one all at the same time. So we're going to break down 18 into... What goes into 18? 2 and 9, 3 and 1. Perfect. I'm doing square roots, so I'm grouping in 2s. Okay, so this one, I have a 2 to bring down. I also bring out that 3 that I circled, and I'm left with the square root of 2. So this actually becomes 6 square roots of 2. Well, look at this one. It's the same. So I'm going to have the same thing, plus 6 square roots of 2. Why make your life hard if it's already the same? Just write it down again. It's a clone. Okay. So now let's break down 12, which breaks down into... And 6 breaks down into, and 3 breaks down into, and
1.
Fantastic. Group in your 2s again. And this one had a -2 out front. And then we bring out that 2, and we're left with the square root of 3. So this one is actually -4. Square roots of 3. Elijah, what are we putting together this time? What are we putting together this time? What are like terms up there that we can? The 6 and the 6. Good. 6 square roots of 2 and 6 square roots of 2. 6 and 6 give me
12.
12. Square roots of 2 minus 4 square roots of 3. Whoop, that is.
Hey.
I never understood this dance move. What is that?
Wait, do it again?
No, because I probably looked
Wait,
dumb.
when did she do
Right.
Oh, do it. Did you just say?
I look dumb. That is not the sprinkler.
What you was doing?
Right, that's the sprinkler.
I mean,
No,
That's what y'all want.
that's no.
I remember
Okay.
this day.
Are there any up here that I cannot simplify? The 3s. Okay, so this one and this one can just be brought down. There's nothing I can do with it. So negative 3 square roots of 3 minus 3 square roots of 3.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll combine at the end. What if that other one gets combined with it then you've got to combine again? I see your point. And I mean, if you want to go ahead and combine them already, and then if we can combine them at the end, combine them at the end. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. Your 8 though breaks down into
2
and
4
4,
2,
2
2,
and
2.
1.
Out of here, it's 2.
Groups of 2. That's all we're talking about. 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So don't forget there's a negative out front. So bring down that negative. I grouped a group of 2s that goes out front and then the square root of 2.
Oh,
So this is minus 2 square roots of 2.
which is
Okay. So which ones combine this time? Negative 3 and negative 3, which gives me negative 6 square roots of 3 minus 2 square roots of 2.
Hold on. And
Hold on.
me would be
Come on.